Here at The Rock, Dima Mixon, Devin, Witson. It is time for the first game picks of the year. Southern Miss at Kentucky in Lexington on Saturday night, 6:45 Central Time on SEC Network. The line has moved. It was Kentucky by 24 earlier last week, but it did move, Devin, in Kentucky's favor, and now they are 28-point favorites. It opened at 24, now they're 28-point favorites. The public betting line is Southern Miss with the points at 71%. The over-under is 50.5. Devin, tell us who wins and why.
So I'm honestly going to say that it will be a hard challenge in week one for Southern Miss, and I really think that it will be a 35-21 victory for Kentucky. I'm not saying that, this won't be something similar to 2016 where Southern Miss may just have some massive scoring explosion in the second half, and it's just, all right, Southern Miss makes an incredible upset like we saw in 2016. But I really feel like it will be a close game in the first half. I believe that there is talent there. I mean, I think that the QB situation has been finally settled, but only time will tell to see if either Tay Rodemaker or Ethan Crawford can step up. I mean, we saw glimpses of Ethan Crawford last year when he was handed the job, but we still really don't know if it's a definitive answer. I mean, also with Tay Rodemaker coming in from Florida State, we all know what happened with Florida State last year. The whole season undefeated. Yeah, the postseason happened, but it's what it is. That's the past. Now we're in the future. And against a team like Kentucky, as I mentioned before, if you have watched the video where we talked about can Southern Miss win, I really believe that the key to stopping Kentucky is stopping that offense, stopping Barian Brown, stopping Brock Vandagriff. If you can stop those two, then I really believe there's a great chance for Southern Miss to come out with a victory up in Lexington again. But for right now, I really believe that it will be in Kentucky's favor.
So Devin has 35-21. That's Southern Miss with the points and the over. So with the 35-21 score, is that like 28-21 Kentucky in the fourth and then they score late? Or is it like 35-14 and Southern Miss kind of gets a garbage touchdown?
Honestly, maybe a garbage time touchdown. Because I, again, believe that Kentucky are going to be one of those teams that are going to be high-paced, really a bundle of explosion of an offense. And if Southern Miss cannot handle, stopping Kentucky on the offensive side, who only knows what could happen on the defensive side? I mean, as has been talked about time and time again, Kentucky have a projected top five, correct me if I'm wrong, that top five projected player on that D line, which honestly, if he just gets in the backfield, it may be a very, very long night for Southern Miss.
Yeah, so this is obviously a tremendous challenge, and whoever thinks that this is not a tremendous challenge, just go ahead and look at the line and see why people are so down. Yeah, so Southern Miss 28-point underdogs. I went back and forth in this game whether or not I thought Southern Miss would cover the spread, and I just couldn't get there for this game. I couldn't get there, and maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I think Kentucky is going to be too much on that, and I think they're going to control the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be a big challenge for Southern Miss, and I hope that they can get out of this game injury-free, I think, and just getting some good experience from that offensive line, because what really matters is the games after this. This is a good first game and test. You're not playing at Ohio State like they were originally playing, and I'm sure they can. I say all that to say that I think Southern Miss really feels like they can win this game, and I think that's why Will Hall hasn't given us a starting quarterback yet. I think that's why he hasn't given us there's several still positions on the depth chart that still haven't been answered. And I think they really feel like they can go in there and win this game. I think you're going to see both Ethan Crawford and Tate Rodemaker play in various positions, but I just couldn't get there. And I think Southern Miss competes probably in the first half. I think it's the traditional Southern Miss versus SEC team. Maybe it's tied at halftime. We saw this with Mississippi State last season where they just scored a bunch at the end and they eventually covered the spread when Southern Miss really was in that game until probably the third quarter. Yeah. But I think I'm going to take Kentucky 45-14 over Southern Miss. So that's 31-point margins. That gives Kentucky with the points. And that is the over as well. I think the over is really easy to reach. 50 points. I mean, if you pick the under, I think you're really picking Southern Miss not to score.
Yeah.
So I think the over is really easy to pick. And if you're a betting person, which please, if you're a betting person, do not come to this YouTube channel to get your betting advice.
Please, listen. We are not liable for your betting decisions. Me, Devin, Joseph Witson, and Dima, I forgot your middle name, Mixon. We are not responsible. Please, we are not gambling experts. We are not betting experts. Go to DraftKings. Go to FanDuel. not Southern Miss student media.
Yeah. So, but I'm still taking Kentucky with the points. So 45-14, 35-21, Southern Miss Kentucky, 6:45 Central Time on SEC Network. Go follow our coverage at smtmedia.com. We'll have the post-game reaction, post-game stories and all that stuff for you Saturday night. Continue to follow our coverage throughout the week. We will not be making the trip to Lexington, but we may or may not have instant reactions on this YouTube channel after the game. We definitely will if Southern Miss comes out with the upset, but we'll see what happens if they lose. So we'll follow our coverage all week. I hope you've been following our coverage up until this point. Southern Miss takes the field in just 2 days. It's Thursday, so just 2 days, Southern Miss takes the field against Kentucky. So follow our coverage. You can follow him on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching. We'll be back for more over the whole season.